Welcome back. I'm Jade Monkey, and today we have something very special on Ark. We've got Ragnarok, the new map for both the console and PC, but right now it's only out on PC. It'll be coming out on console. The word on the street is July 4th, and I know people on the consoles really want to see this new map, want to have an idea of what they're walking into, and also, as far as I know up to this point, I think you'll be able to transfer your characters in, but no items and no tames as far as it stands right now. That could change in the future. If it's anything like Scorched Earth, they'll run it for a period of time like that, and then they'll turn on the items and dinos, which will be cool. That'll give everybody a chance to kind of experience the map. So here was my initial thought, was to get in here and just give you a summary of the whole place, and then do more in-depth areas as, you know, top base locations, resource locations. But even just doing this first video, I realized very quickly this map is so large, incredibly large, and you can't really tell from the map, the little miniature map that they give you, but it's so incredibly big. I think I'm going to have to focus on sections, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to focus on the first section called Jungle, and we'll be flying through, giving you detailed areas, and just a basic rundown of that area. And then the next one should be Viking Bay. Today we'll be focusing on the jungle. As soon as I can do the next video, which I'm hoping will be tomorrow, and if not, it'll be 2 days after this release, we'll be getting right into, I think, the Viking Bay. I think that's the other, yeah, it's right next to jungle. Anyways, so here we go. We're going to be checking out the jungle section on the new map, Ragnarok. As we head over to Blue Ob, you can see just behind us, we're actually heading in the north direction there by blue. This is the Ivory Crag, and I'm not sure what that snow biome is, but you can see by the color changes where the jungle zone and the other zones begin and end. Clearly the jungle zone is the lush green areas, and just over my head there to the right where you see those rocks goes into the, I think, the Viking Cove or the Viking something, I can't remember what it's called, but you can see that this is most of that jungle area, and there seems to be a lot of canopy. It's going to be great for all kinds of stuff, not only resources, trees, i.e. trees, stones, everything else. If you're trying to get on your feet and stay off the radar, that might be a good place to do it, as long as you can keep your people off the trees that are covering your actual base or establishment. We've done it many times, it's been battle tested, but you've got all these little nooks and crannies to hide, to build, to harvest. We'll give you a few key points and resource locations, but for the most part there's so much here, it shouldn't spoil anything. There's plenty to explore, there's plenty to do, there's plenty of spots for people to spread out and to build up if they want to, or if people want to get scrappy. Alright, let's get to Blue Ob here. Now, one thing I have noticed recently, and maybe it's on the patch or maybe it's just this map, but I've noticed that it will not let you build by the blue obelisk. And there we go, our details coming in. Okay, we're down here at Blue Ob. This is roughly 18.7 lat and 17.6 longitude. Look at the little mini map here. You can see me and that thumbtack. Thumbtack should represent roughly where we are, northwest corner. Excuse me, northwest corner of the map. There's a little bit of resource here, but the ob is the ob. This is where you do transferring and everything else. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are these Lutocrats? Oh, timeout. Timeout. Forget what I said. This has got some goldie nodes, right? Fatty nodes. And what are these? Ooh! It's like a loot crate. Get rid of these bows and whatnot. So this is pretty good loot when you're first starting, so keep in mind, fucking hit a Blue Ob, right? And I thought this place was a barren wasteland. Apparently not. Alright, so for the most part, in a fairly large radius around the Blue Ob, you should not be able to build structures. It might be a fluke. Might be completely off, but for everything I've checked up to this point on the two obs, it is consistent. Now, if you go out here a ways, I think you can place. Yes, you can. So, noted. You can place a little bit on the outside of blue. It's not too shabby. I mean, if you want to blitz this place, sweet. But just remember, your foundations do encroach on the spawnability of these nodes. So keep it in mind. So basically placing a foundation back here, unless you don't want those gold nodes, is a bad idea. I don't know why I keep punching this. It's not like I need this loot. I just want you to get a good idea of what kind of loot's back here. Not bad. So for the most part, you got a few resources in the back, some goldies. Not too bad. It's a point of reference when you're trying to get your bearings on the map. So keep that in mind. We'll give you another reference here on the mini book. It is in the upper left-hand corner. Yeah, we're almost in that last square, but close enough. Yes, this should be Viking Bay, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And this will be another spawn zone that we cover, and hopefully we discover a few more things here. So right from Blue Ob, you can see right here the beaches kind of turn, or the jungle turns into more beaches, even as you go inland. So it's a clear delineation where these different zones start and stop. Now as we start to go inland here in the jungle zone, ooh. Oh, okay, I found this earlier. Check this out. I'm sure I can show you this. There's plenty of things to go around. Ooh, you know what I did just find right here? Check it out. It's a little bit of obsidian. We got a little bit of crystal, a little bit of obsidian. Not really sure where the payload's at, but this is one of the points of interest I was talking about. Not sure what this cave does, or if it's a cave, or if it's a random event. I don't know. Oh nice, there's metal down there. Look at the map, we're about... yeah, we're still in the northwest. Chords. 20 lat and 26.6 longitude. This is funky in here. Yeah, like what the hell is that shit? Creepy. Okay, so what's interesting about this is there's, as far as I've seen the map so far, here. What's weird is I have not been able to spawn anywhere below 60. I'm sure there's more to this map, but I really don't know. The spawn zones are all in here. What you can see in the war map. So I don't know what this is. I don't know if this starts an event, but it's interesting. We'll call it a crystal cluster around 20.2 lat and 25.8 longe. It's not huge, but it's something, especially if you guys play this more protected, like you protect the resources, you put down pillars, you keep your foundations away from the area so shit can spawn back in. Super important. A lot of people forget that. They're like, ooh, so horny to build. And they end up just kind of building over their resources. And as anybody knows that's gone late game, hard poly, crystal, and metal are a big freaking deal. Especially in repairs or just everyday maintenance. So, crystal, crystal, crystal. Nice, so jungle zone, we've got a little bit of a crystal patch, at least from what we can see so far. Tight, tight. Oh, a little bit more obsidian. Very convenient. This is what I'm talking about. There's so many cool features out here. Ooh, and did we find something? I think we did. What is this? A cave? Why, yes. Water, we'll call this like water cave, jungle water cave. And it's at 21.2 lat. 24.8 long. If anything, if this is like a Scorched Earth obsidian / crystal cave, you might want to control the openings, or at least pillar bound the inside to make sure that people don't just set up shop. People have a tendency to really like to set up in tunnels and shit, and it really can screw up your resource flow. Well, it's kind of right in the open. Here, I'll go ahead and pull up so we can see what the entrance looks like. I think the tree cover is what makes that hard to find. Again, don't ever underestimate the power of the tree canopy. It is your best friend, especially when you're starting. I know I've said it a lot, but it helps. Oh, what is Species X? It would appear... Nice. Okay, well, jungle has the Species X. Kinda like the swamp. Confirmed. Could be another good spot for PvP. Oops, scratch that. I'm always going to suggest that you don't build next to resources, so now that we just saw this cluster of crystal, I would say protect this at all costs. And let's go ahead and get a reference on this. We'll get in the air so we can see this better. Well, the higher point on the jungle is probably going to have your crystal. Makes sense. And there's the map. Kind of hard to see, but we're like 25-ish. And 21.9 lat. And 22.8 for longitude. Alright, so the next zone we're rolling up on here, we've got the, I believe it's called the Edgel Thoroughway, if I'm saying that correctly. And orientation from the Blue Ob. I'm going to go ahead and just take a little peep over there. Ooh, we have fog rolling in. Oh, that's way overkill, huh? Yeah. That's how I go fishing. Oh, hey. What's up? So pulling up on the top of that mountain here, let's give you orientation to the Blue Ob. That'll make a difference. Here, let me level up real quick. What an asshole. That level up screen shit on the top, so annoying. Alright. Jade. So orientation from the Blue Ob, that's pretty easy to follow. So more so on the top of the mountain here. We've got, I think this is called Egel's Thoroughway. Close enough. Can't read. Can't really English. We've got some sort of ruins over here. It's actually quite beautiful. There's all kinds of plateaus and clearings and bluffs to look out into, and there's I'm trying to think of the name of this. Viking Bay. And that'll be in the next video that I do, because this map is quite large. I could not do this all, even as a summary, over in the on the first video as I went through it the first time. Anyways, we've already been over that. Look at this, I just found some obsidian. So yeah, I guess the point is, this will be coming up next, because this actually looks quite cool. I've only just flown over it, but that's going to be dope. So that's Vikings Bay, and that'll be soon. But yes, we finally have more obsidian. Honestly, on this side, so far, I haven't seen very much obsidian. Just in maybe some key locations, but like 1, 2, 3 nodes so far. We got some goldies here, and some more of these crates on top of these ruins, and we're still in... Oh no, this is a new zone. We've got Bajarni Bridge. Interesting. I don't know if that's what the ruins are called. We'll move up here and see what that name is. I'll try to give you more of an aerial view so it's a bit easier to see. I am switching between a mouse and a keyboard and a mouse and a controller, so it's a bit sketchy because I don't really know the keys going back and forth. Okay. There's all kinds of little places to hide and carve into, and just, you could totally build a base under some rocks and stuff around here, and I don't think anybody would know. Let's take a look, see if there's anything. Ooh, looks like we found more crystals. That is good to know. Right up in the waterfall area. Nice. Oh look, I've been trying to place a bed this whole time. What a dick. What is this? That's cool. Alright, more crystal. Good to know, good to know. Many different elevations to go back and forth from, so this definitely makes this very interesting. And I'm just trying to look at this in a PvP standpoint, because that's all we play, official PvP servers, wildcard servers. Because I know there's YouTubers out there that do custom servers and they call that official, and that's just not right. That is a custom server with boosted rates. That's different. So just emphasizing the fact that this is a wildcard official server, or it will be when we play this. This isn't right now, but we only play on wildcard official servers. That's my point. Anyways, I'm just trying to think of this in a PvP standpoint. Different ways to defend these different locations. Some of these points of interest, these plateaus, these these bluffs. I'm like, what is that? Oh yeah, I placed that out there. I thought that was part of the terrain. Oh cool, so this definitely goes into... This is just beautiful. Look at this. We get a third person too, that might get a bit... Kill the HUD here. That's not pretty. RG, you don't want a piece of this. You don't want a piece of this. And I'll give you a chord reference too. Should help. This feature right here, this broken bridge, is pretty neat. I believe you can make some of the jump halfway through. Let's find out. It's hard to tell when you're in a damn tech suit. As I do everything faster. What? That's crazy. I just not noticed this. This breaks through to the bottom. Oh, this is badass. Let's go down. Was this part of the other cave we went through? Oh, it is. Okay. Alright, going back to the top. So that's cool. This is one of the same caves, or the same cave I went into earlier. Interesting that it just goes all the way to the top. I am blind. Oh man, so you can make so many different structures and bases, and we just make this. I mean, just like, I would like living here, just chilling. Let's see if these are resource nodes. I believe they are. Yes, some. Let me get up higher so we get a better vantage point. And apparently that butts up right against the Olaf jungle. This broken bridge. Nice. So it looks like in this, as the hills get higher over in this section here. There's blue. There's blue. Hi. As we start to work our way up, we see more of these features, and it appears to be more resources in this really cool cave feature down here. And this plateau, or what's called the thoroughway up in here with this lagoon would be maybe a good way to describe it. A lagoon? Although, you know, I don't think a lagoon. Let's find out. Siri, define lagoon.
Lagoon means a stretch of salt water separated from the sea by a low sandbank or coral reef.
Okay, so not a lagoon. More like, it's a body of water. Trying to be smart and it didn't work. It looks like we've got a waterfall over here. Oh wow, more resources. No kidding. Okay. Nice. Makes me wonder how you would harvest these, either by hand, RG, or obviously a Quetzal and an Anki. But some of these nooks and crannies might make it a bit more difficult, especially if you drop Mr. Ankles into this. I guess it would be a waterfall, wouldn't it? It's so intricate and detailed. Is that a fish sticking down into the water? What is happening? Hey fish, you're doing it wrong. Oh, there he goes. That's cool, man. Look at that. And you can even walk up the side as a normal person, not wearing tech. Because as we know, you can only transfer, you cannot transfer items or dinos in the beginning. That's really detailed, that's cool. Okay, cool. So we've got some more resources and more plateau action. Butts up against the bay. I think we'll all have a good time checking out where all these rivers and pathways go to. And this area is called the Thoroughway still. Okay. And there's us in comparison in relation to the blue obelisk. Alright, so this is the back of the Thoroughway. There's us in relation to the blue ob. There's the broken bridge we just saw. We're over there by the tucked away waterfall that butts up against the bay. The bay. We're over here just on the edge, and I think this has got a new zone called Upper Dagmar Lake. Dagmar Lake, if I'm even saying that correctly still. Who knows? And this place appears to have more, I guess, about the same amount of resources from what I can gather. We got a few tucked in here, making it quite sneaky. So if you're in the area, you might have a hard time seeing it. Until I really landed, I didn't really notice. What is this? Oh, just a raptor. He looked funny from the sky. He looks so funny to me. A peasant. Well, one thing's for sure. We've been playing a lot of Scorched Earth, and I'm like, wow, look at all this water, right? Now, these features on the land are very cool. You can do so much with this in PvP, and again, sometimes I kind of stroke out as I'm looking onto this. So I'm constantly thinking about how we would defend this, who would be set up here, different positions to go in and get out of resource locations, and what's our pathways. You could do a lot of cool, pretty strong base designs on these ledges. That's cool, and even those stacks over there in the back. Quite cool, quite cool. We're still in the Upper Dagmar Lake. Dagmar Lake. Say that like I'm from the East Coast. Get a bit more speed on this. Another broken bridge, very cool. And we're flying over Dagmar Lake, and I think we're going into the Olaf jungle. This is also the lake, Upper Lake. And now this is Jarl River. I wonder where Jarl, and there's Olga Beach. Okay, wow, there's quite a few different zones over here. Try to take in the scenery and just check it out. Looks to me like a lot of the strong bases could very well be up in this higher ground. It's always, just like our military says, high ground is the best ground, and anything below that is the kill box. Ooh, these are a lot of gold nodes. Ooh, boy. Alright, let's take note of this. We have 24.3 lat and 20.7 longitude. These might be harder to get to if you're talking on foot. Let me get a bit closer so we can kind of get an idea of what that scale is. My character's pretty short, so keep that in mind. Forget how to cut off the turbo on this controller on the PC. I always thinking I'm gonna die when I free fall. And this could be quite tricky. Looks like you can navigate it on foot very carefully. I'd be a lot more scared if I didn't have a suit. Or an RG. An RG, I keep forgetting that we can do RGs. They're kind of the mule of the sky these days if you're not paid enough to get a Quetzal. So that's going to be a thing. Well, let's be honest. Since nobody can transfer in dinos, RGs are going to be a thing here. And we do see RGs flying around. Speaking of which, there's some right there. And griffins. Who knows if they can carry things yet. And side note, we will be doing a feature on the griffins and some of the new creatures, and even the events when I can figure out how that works. So this is, I think, the best collection of mid to high level resources that you would need so far. Busting out the old GPS one more time so we can get an idea of the spot. But look, we've got the most crystal I've seen so far in the jungle zone. And gold nodes, and even more goldy gold nodes over on the side. Gold, I mean metal. We keep calling them goldie, so I'm confused. Nice, nice, nice. I guess the thought now is, I hope these guys don't build their bases on top of these nodes, because that would suck. That seems to be the thing we combat the most when you're an alpha tribe. Alright, let's get that sun back out, shall we? Commands, escape, something, tab, time of day. That is daytime? What kind of crazy shit is this? We are in Airland Rocks. I don't know how big this is. Let's move over to the side and see what we got. Turbo Feast. Jaw River. Okay, well, alright. So, Jaw Rocks are these green rocks on the top. And Blue Ob, which is kind of hard to see with this schmog currently. But Airland Rocks appears to have some decent resourcing. Maybe difficult to get to, but so far in the jungle, this appears to be the biggest cluster we have. Get some more turbo on this. Bloop. Yep, still the rock. Nope, let's throw away and then it goes to the rocks. So at the base of the Airland Rocks, which you cannot see with the schmog, there's our... Whoa, you can barely see the ob. There's our ob for orientation. There are a bunch of rivers that empty out into the ocean. Check out some of this here. What kind of resources are in this area? Oh, finally it cleared. Man, this looks so much better, doesn't it? Alright, now that the schmog has cleared, we're down closer to Blue Ob, closer to the ocean. There she is. We're still in the jungle. Yes? Alright. And I don't know what to call these. These aren't really archipelagos. It's more like rivers that run through and then empty out into the ocean. I don't know. Maybe it is an archipelago. It appears we have another cave entrance over here. And a drop. Those are always nice for transfers, so keep that in mind. We're in 18.3, 22.7. And on the map, it should show us... Yep, still in the top corner. It's probably going to look like we're in the same zone every time, but I thought I'd just show it just for reference. This is pretty cool. This all about? What? Is this like an underground zone? Is this the same cave I went into earlier? This is really cool. Look at this. Okay, so apparently that cave empties out into the beach. That's quite a sight when you walk out. That's cool. Hello, turtle. There's a drop zone here. That's nice for people that don't own the obelisk, which I don't think you can do. Not anymore. I suppose if you made a really big circle around it, you totally could, but who's going to do that? I think they blocked it off primarily because it's closer to the edge of the map, and you could do some slutty shit if you had your back against the wall like that. That's cool. We got a gold node right there. Blue Ob, Jungle, Airland Rocks. Let's see if I can remember the names. The Thoroughway, Jungle, Cave Entrance that empties out into the rivers. And that cave works its way all the way up and past the broken bridge. And I believe we're heading towards the bay, and that would be due east. So this would be what, south? And this is north? West? I mean north? More of the beach here on the side. Still part of the jungle. So it looks like the Olaf jungle is a big portion of this. Maybe that's why they call it fucking jungle spawn, yeah? Let's see if we got anything else on the edge of the jungle here. I'm sure there's tons I'm missing, but I just wanted to give a basic overview so we could see maybe resources and everything else. Oh, look at that. Sneaky. We had a metal node down there. Yeah, a lot of this seems to be sneaky nodes. Ooh, look at this. Goldie. 17.8 and 27.5. And it looks like we had Species X there in the corner too. Very good. Oh, cool. Looks like a metal node in the Waterfall. Nice. More gold nodes. Excellent. So working our way back towards the center of the jungle, past the... what is that place again? Where we had the war map. Working our way towards the Airland Rocks. We're going to work our way to the back of the jungle and see if there's any more features back there. That's our spot with obsidian. Nice. Just skirting around Airland Rocks in the throwaway here. Just skirting around the jungle. Got more resources. We touched base on that there. Oh, that'd be a cool place to put like a base, yeah? Right there. At this side, I don't think we've covered much. And this might be Jarl River, okay. More of a clearing on this side. That's also beautiful. Some waterfalls, and I'm not sure what this structure is. Yeah, we flew over that earlier. Kinds of cool looking stuff. The Jarl River. The plains in the jungle, I guess we can call it that. I don't know what they're calling it in the game. Schlosser slope. I can't even say it. Schlosser slope. Schlosche. The plains are the sloshy slope. Looks like we have some teardown spawns over here too. They're pretty much all over the place. See what I mean? How this board is big. I mean, we've just gone over some of the features here. By no means have we covered everything. But this is just one spawning zone. Holy crap. Like, there's a whole nother chunk back down here. You saw in the beginning, in the ridge there behind, or just under the jungle zone. There's, I think it's called the canyons out there. It's beautiful. There's a snow region. It feels like a lot of this map has merged together to become okay, so if the center, the island, and maybe even a little bit of scorched earth just had like some kind of wicked awesome baby, I think it would be this map, and then something else, maybe a little Pirates of the Caribbean mixed in there, a little Captain Jack Sparrow, a little drunk pirate action. It's nice. It feels like it's got a lot of different feels. I'm just look at all this. Can't imagine what the tribe-on-tribe warfare is going to be in a terrain like this, just on this side, just what we've seen so far. One thing to keep in mind, since this map is rectangular, and for the most part, looking at the map, if you were to lop it in half there at 50, going left to right, the only ocean is on the upper half of this. So keep that in mind, unless you're connected to something there on the ocean, or I'm sorry, on the shore. It may not make sense to do or go heavy on water tames necessarily, so something to keep in mind. It's not something you're necessarily used to, especially on the island. The ocean covers everything, so working our way past the beach and the throwaway, everything else from Blue Ob. We're coming past the Jarl River. I believe this is identified as the Jarl River right there. And this is called Schlosser Slope. That's that's pretty good. This is more of a plains area. You're gonna see more herbivores down here. Not as many tree resources or even metal nodes, so I've seen. Again, this is my first pass. I'm gonna miss a lot of shit. Yep, looks like a lot. Oh, there's a carnivore. But for the most part, you have a lot of relatively docile animals here. It's nice. And dare I say, maybe put a base. I always like to put bases away from resources, but anybody who's played with me or even watched my stuff knows that I constantly am bitching about that. Oh, cool, we got another little feature down here. So this is what? Azure Waters? Azure Waters? I'm just guessing at all these. Bear with me. This is it's so well put together, so beautiful. Sometimes I'm just staring at this. Is that an alpha? Yes, it is. It'd be so much fun to explore on the ground, 100%, to build on. I just can't wait. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's beautiful. This is a really well put together map. Oh, nice. Finally some resources. And we're still by the A Waters. I'm just going to call it A Waters because I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Dope. Okay, so if you're over here on this end of the map, 31.8, 22.1, definitely your friend. And let's see if we can see Blue Ob closer to the canyons. Yeah, you're right across from the swamp, so just to give you an idea. This is pretty accessible. A lot of the spawns come over here. This is a recommended zone, so if you want some easy metal, this might be the place to do it. Don't build on top of it, but just get close. Yeah, I'm just looking at the rock formation. Yeah, pretty accessible, because we're really looking at what's accessible by foot here. That'll do it for this episode, the first look at the Ragnarok map, the jungle zone. Check back soon. Check back tomorrow for the next zone on the Ragnarok map called Viking Bay. We have a little preview of it right here. And I'm pretty sure the castle that was in that video is right about there. If you like my content, consider giving me a little subby doodles and drop a like on the video. That helps me out tremendously. And we do try to run at least 2 streams a week. We've been doing Destiny and Overwatch. And we'll shortly be doing, whenever it's available, the Destiny 2 beta. That should be exciting. We also play with the viewers during those. So if you like that, go ahead and give a subscribe. You'll see the notification for our streams when we pop those up. And I've got other series running on my channel. I've got the BoiFriendSquad PvP series taking place on Scorched Earth on Ark. And the Ark Adventure vlog. I had to think about what that was for a second. What series am I running? Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.